Welcome to your power flow practice. In this practice, we are going to explore some fun compound transitions. Woo! And build a little bit of heat with some playful movement. But let's get started by grounding into our space through our breath. I invite you to join me in an easy seated position if that feels good for you. Maybe taking support beneath the body. That might be a towel, or a block might be a wee bit aggressive, but find what feels best for you. And when you land, if it's comfortable to do so, gently close down the eyes. Otherwise, softening the gaze. And as your awareness begins to land on each breath, entering and exiting the body, invite a length to the spine. Notice the connection between your body and the earth. And allow these first few breaths to act as a check-in. Not looking to force anything, to rush anything. Just becoming curious and quiet about where you are in this moment and about what movements and intention will serve you best in this practice. You might stay here with that. Or if something's speaking to you, if an intention, a way of being, either through this practice or maybe through the rest of your day or week, is coming to the front of your mind, I invite you to give space to that intention. Bring it to the front of your mind, and together for the next 3 breaths, let it root into your bones. Now, wherever you're at, before we move on, I invite you to draw the shoulders up towards your ears. Take the hands off of the knees or the lap, wherever they've landed. Create a fist. Squeeze everything in. Big, full breath in through the nose. And before exhaling, gently draw the shoulders down and back. And as you exhale, releasing the breath, release the tension, the grip in the palms, and allow the shoulders to fall down. One more time. Inhale, draw the shoulders up, clench the fists. And as you exhale, releasing the palms, letting the shoulders draw down and back. Inhale, bat your eyes back to life. Wiggle your fingers, maybe scratch your eye. And then let's come to a tabletop position together. We'll begin by cycling through some cow-cat movements. I invite you to check in with your wrists here. If your wrists feel good, if you're at a stage in your day where your wrists are feeling awesome and there's a lot of movement, go ahead and stack shoulders over wrists. If there is a little bit of tension, a little bit of resistance piping up, just take them forward a hair. But from here, cycling through a cow-cat movement to the breath. That feels good. Woo! Maybe your spine is speaking to you loudly. Ha! It's awesome. It means it's working, right? Inhale, gazing up. Exhale to round. And just know as you move through these shapes and any of the shapes in this practice, if there's any additional movement that might feel good, I invite you to explore that. One more time. Awesome. Tuck the toes, take the knees to connect, and then connect the big toes at the back of your mat. Slowly walk the hands back to the knees and roll up onto the toes. We're gonna come into a toe squat and take some attention to the wrists. So if your feet haven't created a big base with the toes already, just invite them to do that. You might pull them apart. And then release the knees to the mat. We'll start with the knees at the mat, and then there'll be an option for a little bit more depth after if that feels good. But with the knees released, taking our attention to the wrists, interlace the fingers, take some circles. Woo. One direction, and then the other. I don't know if mine are actually moving in the other direction. My intention is there, and that's everything. Woo. Awesome. And check in. If there's a lot of sensation in your toes here, you can always release forward. If you're not getting enough, just sit back, really settle in. I promise your toes will speak up at some point. And then just taking our attention to the forearms. Extend the forearm up towards the sky. Gently draw the fingertips back towards the body. Whew. Stretching out the forearms is the best. And the other side. If your toes are squeamy, if they're squeaming, no. Mine might be. It might be cutting off circulation to my brain, it seems. And release. Come back to a tabletop. Wiggle some life back into those toes. Woo-hoo. And then we'll repeat the toe squat one more time. This time coming up, you have the option to stay where you're at, or maybe if you were taking the body forward, they're just waking up, maybe you sit back a little further, or if that was enough, maybe you lift the knees and come to a hover. You might take the hands to heart center, and know you can experiment. There's always room to land anywhere in between. So maybe you take the knees up, but you have the support of one or both hands. One hand or the other, it appears I was doing. One or both hands. You might take the hands to heart center. And even with the hands at heart center, know you have options. So you can stay here. You might experiment with drawing the knees down. Whoo. Set that drishti gaze. Focus. And just notice the difference. If you're with me taking the knees off the mat, the hands off the mat, or a hand, just notice how the sensation changes. So yeah, we're still breathing life into the toes, really awakening the shins. One more breath. Down dog is gonna feel good. And release. Not there yet. Come back to a tabletop position, moving together through some bird dog movement. Extending the left arm, right leg on an inhale, and as you exhale, knee to elbow rounding through center. 4 more times. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to round. For 2, 3 more. Twice more. Lengthen. Final time. Lengthen out here. This time we take the left arm out to the side, right leg out to the side. Talking gets a little more labored. That's how you know it's working. We'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. See if you can lift 1 inch higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back to center, knee and hand release. Might take a little movement, shake out the hips, shake out the shoulders, and then moving to the other side. Inhale, extend right arm, left leg. Exhale to round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Twice more. Final time. Extend out, you know where we're going. Left leg to the side. Right arm to the side. All the best ones are hard to talk through. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting 1 inch higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Tuck the toes, press all the way back, downward facing dog. If you were shaking through that, know you're not alone. Or maybe you saw my shaking and you're feeling a little empathy. Thank you. Doing hard stuff is a challenge sometimes. Landing in this first down dog, take some movement that feels good. Maybe pedaling out the feet. Maybe it might feel good to drop the hips from side to side. Or maybe just hanging out is exactly where you need to be. No wrong way. Just land in a way that feels good. With a generous bend in the knees, slowly guide the feet to meet the hands at the top of your mat. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands to opposite elbows. We're in a ragdoll shape. We'll stay here together for a 3 full breath, taking any movement that feels good. Maybe finding your breath. Release the hands to the mat. Inhale, rise all the way up. This time, maybe there's a gentle back bend. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. With the hands connected to the mat, big bend in the knees. Heel toe the feet out to the outer edges of the mat. Then draw the right hand through center. Inhale, peel the left shoulder open to the sky. Staying for a full breath cycle. Exhale, back to center. This time left hand grounds down. Inhale, extending right. Staying here. Exhale to center. One more time each side. This time right grounds, left extends. And know if your arm doesn't extend to the sky, that's okay. Land at the hip. Make this shape work for you. Exhale to center. Final time. Inhale, extending right. Heel toe the feet back in beneath the hips. Inhale, extend overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, high plank. First high plank, pausing here. Know that you can take this from the knees if that feels better, but if the toes are available, land on the toes. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From the knees or from the toes, shift forward, release to low plank. Inhale to upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Feet step to the top of the mat. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high to low plank. Inhale, upward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Feet meet the hands. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to high plank. This time we're pausing here. You might keep the feet where they're at, or you might join me in taking them a little bit wider just to create a stable base. We're gonna take shoulder taps for 20. The intention is to stabilize through the core. So take the feet wide, don't wanna be rocking from side to side. Really engage everything, beginning with right hand to left for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Take the feet back into hip distance. It's like we're patting ourselves on the back there. We are doing a good job. Woo-hoo. Holding here, shift forward on the toes, pausing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press back to down dog. Awesome job. Our core is awake now. Woo-hoo-hoo. One cleansing breath here, in through the nose. Send it out the mouth. Feet meet the hands. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. High to low plank. Inhale to upward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Extend the left leg long behind you. Keep the hips closed. Just begin to find that extension. Still staying rooted through all 4 corners of both hands. Then step through to the top of your mat. Left hand, left foot lands behind the left hand. Back foot comes to a 45. Finally on our feet. Rise up, warrior 1. Make any adjustments in your stance. One more breath here. Release the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Woo-hoo. Draw the shoulders down and back. Open through the heart center. Inhale, create space. Exhale, humble warrior. Left shoulder inside of the left knee, or in the direction of. Inhale, rise up, opening through the heart center. If you notice your chest is peeling open, keep the hips closed. Just invite that opening to the front of your space. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Release the hands on the exhale. Inhale, arms extend overhead. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Big toes connect. Hands come to heart center. Sink back to chair. Pull the pit of the belly into the spine. Maybe wiggle the toes. Maybe your toes don't wiggle if you don't wiggle your fingers. Whatever it takes. One more breath here. Inhale, rise up, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Take a generous bend in the knees if you need here, keeping those toes connected. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep all the way overhead. This time they stay by the ears. Exhale, sink back to chair. Staying here, or maybe, I invite you to do this, at least try, extend the right leg out in front of you. Won't be a big extension. Woo-hoo. Or maybe it is, not for me. One strong breath. Rise up, keep that leg extended, draw the hands through heart center, and then slowly begin to hinge forward from the hips. Arms release beside the body. We're in an airplane. Find your breath. Claw into your mat. Soften in that standing leg. One more breath here. Keep the leg extended. Draw the hands through heart center. Slowly step the right foot back to a 45. Arms extend overhead. We're in a warrior one. Hands release to the mat. Step back. High to low plank. Inhale upward. And exhale. Downward facing dog. Step the left foot through to the center top of the mat. Open up, warrior two. Woo, hello quads. Taking your gaze over the left hand. Breathing space to the hips. Slowly straighten the front leg. Open the palms, draw the body forward. Triangle pose. You really feel that stretch on the side body and the low back. Celebrate. Rise up, warrior two. Release the hands to the center of your mat. Feet come parallel. Inhale, arms extend overhead. Release the hands behind the back. Inhale to open through the chest. And as you exhale, forward fold. Yogi's choice here, what happens? You might find some movement. Maybe that feels good. Maybe taking a bend in one knee and then the other. Maybe you hang heavy or draw the head towards one knee and the other. Just move in a way that feels good here. Inhale, rise all the way up. Let the hands go. Straighten the arms out to the side. We're in a 5-pointed star. Just wiggle the fingers. Breathe some life into the body. Inhale, arms extend overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Taking the weight into the left toes. We're in a skandasana on the left side, sending the heel of the right foot to the earth, toes to the sky. And if this is a lot on your knee or your shin or your hip, just take the shin to the mat. Woo. And know if you're not getting any sensation in that extended leg, just come back to your stance, widen it, come back to it. Let's really figure out how to make this shape work for you. Might keep the hands connected, maybe join them inside. Maybe you're feeling spicy. Maybe you second guess that spice. Take the hands to heart center. You might even open up. Woo, woo, woo. You might have to hoot your way through it. One more breath. Release the soles of both feet to the mat. Gentle movement through both sides. before coming to a skandasana on the right side. Just know there's no expectation from side to side, and I invite you to practice without expectation. Sometimes we think, oh, we had so much space on one side, we should just power through on the other side if it's a little more resistant. I invite you to just be gracious with your body. Celebrate where you're at in any given moment on any side. Acknowledge that landing on your mat is doing something good. One more breath. Soles of both feet release to the mat, coming back to a wide leg fold. Find your breath here. Send the tailbone to the sky. One more breath here. Slowly walk your hands to what was the back of your mat. Root through both hands. Step back, high plank. Pausing here in this high plank, taking plank saws for 10. Shifting forward and back for 1. Forward and back for 2. Squeeze everything. 3. For 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Pausing here. Then from the toes or from the knees, release forward, low plank. Inhale to upward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Extend the right leg long behind you. Woo. Step the right foot behind the right wrist. Left foot opens to a 45. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. One strong breath here. Release the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Wherever you default, switch. I actually think I might have switched my default. And then draw the shoulders down and back. Inhale, open through the heart center. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, rise up strong. Exhale to fold. Inhale, extend, rise up. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Step the feet together at the top of your mat. Sink to chair. Pull the pit of the belly in. Maybe wiggle those toes again. Hey, making progress. I didn't have to wiggle my fingers to do it. Big things are happening here today. Woo-hoo. Keeping the feet together. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms extend overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Keep as much bend in the knees as you need here. And exhale to fold. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Keeping the arms overhead. Exhale, sink to chair. Holding here, you might stay here or you might slowly begin to lift the left leg. Woo. Extending. This might be your stronger leg, or you might be with me and it might not. That's okay. If we fall out of it, that's good. Get back. Here we go. One more breath. Release the hands to heart center. Rise up. Claw through your mat. Gently extend the leg behind you. Palms release. I might have to give this plant a kiss. It's very distracting. Holding here. One more strong breath. Inhale, rise up. Take the hands to your heart center. Keep that foot lifted. Step back to a 45. Inhale, back to warrior one. Release the hands to the mat. Step all the way back. High to low plank. Inhale to upward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath, reset. Extend the right leg behind you, step through, open up, warrior two. Woo, maybe breathing some life into the hips. Slowly straighten up, open the palms, draw the hand forward, open to triangle. Stabilize. Whew. Better do it. You might fall over if you don't. One more breath. Release back to warrior two. Draw the feet parallel to one another. Heels hold them all the way in. Not all the way in, but heels in, toes out. Sink to yogi squat. Know that you're always welcome to take support here if that feels good. You might find a little bit of movement. If you're not used to using the elbows, connecting the palms, and allowing your body to act as the best prop ever to invite space, you might do that. From here, finding a little bit of movement. Release the right hand to the mat. Inhale, extend the left arm to the sky. Exhale to center. Left hand to the ground, right to the sky as you inhale. Exhale to center. One more time each side. Inhale, left to the ground. Left to the sky, right to the ground. Exhale to center. You know what you're doing. Inhale, left to the ground, right to the sky. And release to center. One more breath here. Release the hands to the mat, come all the way onto the knees. And then from here, we're gonna explore an inversion. So you have choices. You might take a forearm headstand with me. You might take a forearm stand or handstand, or if those aren't part of your practice, or if you're just not feeling it today, you might come to your back, lift the hips, place a block beneath them, and land in waterfall. So know you have choices. Pick the one that feels best to you, or the one that's calling to you. Or all of them if you're feeling spicy and you want to hit pause here. Again, if you need a little refresher, if you're exploring your forearm headstand with me, taking a hand to the forehead, finding that spot, creating a cradle, drawing everything in, stacking the bones, really engaging, pushing into the earth, walking in as close as possible before slowly lifting up, setting your focal point, engaging everything. Woo. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly, with control, lower all the way back down. And we'll meet in a child's pose to rinse it out. If you're in a wide leg child's pose, as I am, with the head connected to the mat, you might gently, very slowly, shake the head, no from side to side, rolling from one side of the forehead to the other. Make your way up to a tabletop position. And from here, slowly walk the hands forward. Release the forearms to the mat, coming into a melting heart. Hips are stacked above the knees. You might have the forehead or the chest or the chin drawn towards the mat. If that feels really far away, always know you can close that gap with a prop. Slowly root through the hands, rise all the way up. Press all the way back to downward facing dog. Extend the left leg behind you, pausing here in a three-legged dog. Draw the heel towards the bum, open the hips. We're just gonna stay here and invite some space into the hips. You might stay here with the foot drawn into the hip, or maybe you make some circles. We're not here for long. One more breath. Slowly step the left foot through to the top of the mat. Release the right knee. We're in a low lunge. You might stay here with the hands on the mat. Maybe the hands come to the thigh. You might take them to a prop. And if a little bit of movement feels good here, find that movement. Maybe that's from side to side. Maybe that's a little shift from front to back. Slowly begin to heel toe the left foot to the outer left edge of the mat. Both hands come inside the left foot. Pausing here. And then your choice where you go from here. You might tent onto the fingertips with me. I like to create a little bit more space here. Hand might come to the thigh, to the hip. You might release it behind the back, or maybe you reach back and connect with the extended foot. One more breath. Slowly release the foot to the mat. Take the hands back inside. And then keeping the foot where it is, release the left hand outside of the left foot. You might inch your foot forward, then send the toes to the sky, finding a wandering half splits. Awesome. Release both hands to the mat. Come back to a tabletop. From this tabletop position, take 3 big hip circles in each direction. Take these at a speed that feels good. Ooh, moving in the other direction. That's funny. I was going to say my hip didn't pop. Is it working? And then my knee popped. So if you're wondering what it looks like to be 36, here it is. It's full of magic. Ha! Come back to center, root through the hands, tuck the toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. This time our right leg extends back, heel to the bum, open the hips. You might find a little bit of movement You might linger, just welcoming space. And then together, stepping through to the top of the mat, sending the left knee to the earth, low lunge. And landing in this low lunge, you might find stillness. Maybe that's what you're craving. Set it and forget it. I always like to find a little bit of movement. Everything feels sticky. Almost like an exploration. Like just that little bit of movement just to check in. Get quiet, kind of pay attention to what's happening, where there's space, where there is much resistance. Slowly taking the right foot to the outer right edge of the mat, pausing here. Scared to sniffle, can't catch COVID on camera. And all the people with all the knowledge would say, runny nose isn't COVID. And I would say, you still can't catch it on camera. Okay, connecting the left hand, maybe coming onto the fingertips. Right hand comes to the hip. Maybe that half bind behind the back. Feeling really spicy. Connecting with the foot. And always know if you reach back and you're like, oh shoot, that foot is just a little far away. You might even just draw the heel in. That's a good place to start, just taking it in the direction of it. Really good place to use a prop, grabbing a strap or a strap-like thing, a belt, a tea towel. Cord might be a little risky. Maybe. One more breath. And release, let it go. This time we'll keep the hands on both sides of the right foot, maybe inching the foot forward before coming to the heel, sending the toes to the sky, wandering half splits on the right. Whew. And together our hamstrings thank us. I was thinking when we did shoulder taps and planks, I'm like, we're high-fiving ourselves over and over and over. Just a bunch of high fives for our body. Woo-hoo. Release the sole of the foot to the mat. Root through the hands. Come back to the toes. Drop the knees. This time we make our way all the way onto our backs. Coming to our backs, knees draw into the chest. Maybe a little bit of space, maybe a lot of space. Finding gentle movement from side to side. Release the soles of the feet to the mat. You might stay there with the knees drawn into the hip or drawn into the stomach. If that feels good, stay there. Or you might find a shoulder stand and plow. We're gonna repeat 2 rounds. I've started to really like repeating them. So there's a little bit, I find a little bit more ease. We can come into it, kind of dabble, explore, and then find a little bit more depth on the second round. So beginning with shoulder stand. And know if shoulder stand isn't part of your practice, this is another good, fix your shirt, fix your fussy clothes. This is another good opportunity to take a waterfall, taking that block beneath the sacrum. We'll stay here for one more breath. Slowly begin to extend the feet behind the head, coming into plow. And you might take a generous bend in the knees to begin here. That might be where you start. That might be perfect. Maybe the feet just come in the direction of, but they don't quite touch down this time. That's okay. No, we're coming back. Slowly release back to shoulder stand. And for a final time, releasing to plow. Two more breaths. Rooting through the hands, draw the knees towards the chest. Gently return the back body to the mat. One slow vertebrae at a time. When you arrive, taking the hands to the shins or to the knees, finding a little gentle release with side-to-side movement. Right leg extends long, left knee draws into the chest before releasing to the right side of your space. Left arm extends. We're in a supine twist. Maybe staying here or maybe beginning to take the extended right leg, gently draw the heel in towards the body. You might stay there or you might use the left hand to close that circuit. Gently release from wherever you're at. Come back to center. This time we plant the soles of both feet about mat distance apart. Release the arms to your cactus and gently drop the knees from left to right. Meeting back in center, left leg extends long, right knee draws in towards the chest. Before finding a twist to the left. Stay where you're at or gently begin to guide the heel of the left foot towards the bum, maybe making friends with the right hand. And slowly release. Come back to center. Hug the knees to the chest. Send the heels and the soles of the feet to the sky. Happy baby. Slowly release down. Take any final movements that your body might be craving. Maybe a nice extension. Before releasing the feet to the bottom corners of the mat, arms fall by the body softly, palms to the sky. Full deep breath in. And with an exhale, releasing fully to Savasana. Stay here as long as feels good or will serve you in your day. But if you're ready to close your practice with me, invite some awakening to the body through easy movement in the fingers and the toes. Extend the arms overhead, lengthening from one end of the body to the other. Nice good morning, good afternoon, good evening stretch. Slowly draw the knees to the chest. Hands come to the back of the thighs. Tuck your chin into center. Pause here, squeezing everything in. One full breath. And then at your own easy pace, rock and roll up and down the spine. Woo-hoo. Coming back to meet in an easy seated position. With the eyes closed, hands draw through heart center. We'll close our practice together with 2 deep cleansing breaths. With these breaths, inhaling gratitude for showing up, for carving this time out to mindfully move and to nourish the body. Full breath in the nose. And release. Once more. And let it go. Thank you so much for meeting me on your mat and sharing space mindfully. Have a beautiful day.